Every single week, people move to Bluffton and Hilton Head from out of state, and most of them make the exact same mistake. They pick the wrong area. Not because they're careless, but because they rely on Google, Zillow, AI, and a weekend visit instead of local insight. After years of helping hundreds of families relocate to Hilton Head Island and the Bluffton area, I can tell you the #1 mistake people make when moving here, and it costs them tens of thousands of dollars, years of frustration, or worse, feeling stuck somewhere they hate. So in this video, I'm going to break down the 5 areas you should think twice about if you're not local, the specific things about each one that Zillow will never tell you, and the single biggest mistake most out-of-state buyers make when choosing an agent, how to avoid it. So before we get into the list, here's one thing that catches almost every out-of-state buyer completely off guard about this market. Most people think of Bluffton and Hilton Head as one coastal real estate market. It's not. The Lowcountry is one of the most complex real estate environments in the entire Southeast, and here's why. Nearly every desirable community here is private and gated, and each one operates like its own little country. Each community has its own POA fee, that's a property owners association fee, its own initiation fee, its own transfer fee, its own club membership structure, and its own architectural review board that governs what you can do with your own property. None of that is on Zillow. On top of that, Beaufort County applies different property tax assessment ratios depending on how you use your property. Primary residents can qualify for a 4% assessment ratio. Second home buyers, which is most of the people watching this video, are taxed at 6%. That difference can add thousands of dollars per year to your carrying costs. And most out-of-state buyers don't even know it exists until they see their first tax bill. And then there's flood insurance. Wind and hail coverage is a separate policy here. That is not how most states do it. Many low-country properties require mandatory flood insurance on top of that. When you add a 3% hurricane deductible on a home valued at $1 million or more, you're looking at a $30,000 out-of-pocket exposure before your insurance pays a dollar. I've helped buyers move here from New York, California, Illinois, Massachusetts, Ohio. Almost every single one of them understand this market's complexity on their first visit. And here's the key thing before you get into the list. None of the areas I'm about to cover are bad places to live. They're just a bad fit for certain out-of-state buyers who don't understand the trade-offs going in. So with that in mind, let's take a look at the 5 areas I would think carefully about if you're moving to Bluffton or Hilton Head from out of state. Number 5 on the list is Old Town Bluffton. And I want to be upfront with you. Old Town is one of my all-time favorite places in this entire market. It's the historic heart of Bluffton. It's been listed on the National Register of Historic Places since 1996. Golf cart friendly streets, galleries, restaurants, boutiques along Calhoun Street. And if you want a genuine sense of low-country character, Old Town is where you find it. So why is it number 5? Because it consistently surprises out-of-state buyers in ways that don't show up in listing photos. Here's the first one. Old Town Bluffton sits within a designated historic district, and that means any exterior change to your property, paint color, structural modification, additions, it all requires approval from the town's Bluffton Historic Preservation Commission. Buyers from states where you can renovate freely have no frame of reference for this. It's not optional, it's not fast, and it adds both cost and time to any upgrade or personalization you want to do. The second thing is the housing stock itself. Prices in Old Town range from the high 400s to well over $2 million for May River waterfront properties. But a significant portion of that inventory was built decades ago. Buyers coming from markets with newer construction consistently underestimate what it costs to bring an older low-country cottage up to their expectations. Labor costs and materials on the coast here run higher than most inland markets. The third thing is, and this is the one that blindsides buyers at underwriting, is flood zone designation. Sections of Old Town Bluffton sit near the May River and tidal creeks. Some parcels fall within the FEMA flood zones where mandatory flood insurance applies. Your lender will likely flag this, your insurance agent will quote it, but most buyers from non-coastal markets don't think to check it before they make an offer. Who is Old Town Bluffton genuinely great for? Buyers who want walkable, authentic, low-country living, buyers who value culture, dining, and genuine sense of place over resort-style amenity packages, buyers who understand historic properties and have realistic realistic renovation budgets, and buyers who have already done their flood zone homework at the parcel level before they fall in love with a listing. So my take, Old Town is one of the most special places to own in the entire Lowcountry, but you need to verify the flood zone designation for specific parcel, not just the neighborhood, before you make an offer. And you need to understand what the historic district overlay means for your renovation plans before you close. Get those two things right and Old Town can be an outstanding choice. But number 4 on the list is where I see a different kind of mismatch play out. Area 4 is Belfair Plantation. Let me be clear right away. Belfair is one of the most genuinely impressive private golf club communities in the entire Lowcountry. 1,100 acres of live oaks, marshland, and riverfront, views along the Colleton River, 2 Tom Fazio Championship ranked among the top 150 private residential courses in the country, a 35,000 square foot clubhouse, a 29-acre golf learning center, 6 hard-true clay tennis courts, 2 pickleball courts, resort-style pools, and a full social calendar built around 50 clubs and interest groups. Belfair Town Village sits just outside the East Gate, a walkable retail and dining hub that most gated communities in this market simply don't have. And over 75% of Belfair members call it their primary home. So why is it number 4? Because of one structural rule that catches out-of-state buyers completely off guard. At Belfair, every property sale includes a mandatory club membership transfer, and that is not optional. It is not a lifestyle upgrade you choose. It is a condition of ownership. The moment you purchase a home in Belfair, you're automatically in, and automatically paying regardless of how much you intend to use the club's amenities. So here's what that means in numbers. Belfair's total annual dues are in the range of approximately $22,916 per year, which includes the club's membership that HOA fees are bundled into. The one-time initiation fee at Belfair is $100,000, though buyers should verify this directly with the community before closing, as fees in this community have documented history of increases. One local Bluffton real estate source noted that Belfair's POA fee saw a 24% increase in a prior year's cycle, pushing it toward $20,000 per year at that time. There's also the flood picture. According to the First Street data published by Redfin, 49% of properties in Belfair are at risk of severe flooding over the next 30 years, and Belfair faces a documented extreme wind risk. 99% of properties carry some risk of severe wind event exposure over the next 30 years, given the community's coastal position. That affects both your insurance options and your insurance costs. So who is Belfair a genuinely great fit for? Buyers who are making Belfair their primary home and plan to use the golf and social amenities actively. Buyers who have fully modeled the total annual cost, not just the mortgage payment. Buyers who want a member-owned, debt-free community with strong social infrastructure already in place. And buyers who understand that the mandatory membership is not a cost to be avoided. It is the product they are purchasing. So my take is Belfair is a world-class community, but is one on this list where most buyers most consistently show up with a purchase price in mind and a total cost picture that is materially incomplete. Before you make an offer at Belfair, I want to sit down with you and build out a full annual number: mortgage, mandatory dues, insurance stack, and property taxes at whatever rate applies to your situation. And that conversation changes everything. Now, this is a lot of information to keep track of. And if you're researching a move to Bluffton or Hilton Head and you want to understand the real differences between the gated communities here, fees, memberships, lifestyle, grab my free Lowcountry Community Relocation Guide. The link is in the description below. Inside, I've broken down the community fee structures, club membership details, lifestyle comparisons, and a practical relocation checklist for out-of-state buyers so you can understand exactly what you're walking into. It is one of the most useful things I can put in your hands right now. And now on to number 3. Number 3 on the list is Sun City Hilton Head. And let me be really clear about something up front. Sun City is one of the most successful and well-run 55+ communities in the entire country. 3 18-hole championship golf courses, 6 indoor and outdoor swimming pools, 3 fitness centers, more than 150 clubs and organizations, and over 165,000 square feet of amenities. For buyers who want an active adult community with a resort-style lifestyle, Sun City is a serious contender. So why is it number 3? Because the mismatch I see here is not about the community itself. It's about what buyers think they're buying versus what they're actually buying. Let's start with the HOA. Current published fee data shows Sun City Hilton Head's base HOA fee at approximately $2,688 annually, or roughly $200 $324 a month. That sounds manageable, but here's where buyers from non-HOA markets hit their first wall. Golf is not included. Sun City has 3 courses. A 2025 resident golf plan sheet showed optional pricing ranging from $335 for a 9-hole single plan up to $4,481 for a premium couple plan. If golf is the primary reason you're moving to Sun City Hilton Head, and for many buyers it is, you need to budget for that separately on top of your monthly HOA. On top of that, there are additional closing costs at the community level. You should be aware of the transfer fee of approximately 2/3 of 1% of the purchase price, a $3,500 community enhancement fee, and a $300 administrative fee. Here's the other thing most buyers from outside the Southeast don't consider. Sun City Hilton Head is an age-restricted community. Children under 19 may be guests for a maximum of 90 days in a calendar year. That is a rule, it's not a guideline. For buyers who have a vision of grandchildren spending extended school breaks here, that rule can come as a significant and unexpected limitation. The HOA budget is also reviewed annually and assessments may be raised as needed. And since most buyers from the Northeast, Midwest, and California are purchasing this as a second home initially, they're starting out at the 6% Beaufort County property tax assessment ratio, not the 4% primary resident rate. That distinction adds measurably to carrying costs that a lot of buyers don't model out before they commit. Who is Sun City Hilton Head actually a great fit for though? Well, buyers who are fully committed to an active adult lifestyle, who understand the HOA structure going in, who have budgeted for golf separately, and who are purchasing this as their primary Lowcountry home. For that buyer, Sun City delivers one of the best amenity packages at its price point anywhere on the East Coast. My take, Sun City Hilton Head is an outstanding community. But before you make an offer, get a complete breakdown of every fee. And here's where it starts to get really interesting, because the next 2 areas on the list are ones that many people would tell you are the absolute pinnacle of Lowcountry living. And for certain buyers, they're absolutely right. But for out-of-state buyers without the full picture, they can represent some of the most expensive surprises in this entire market. Number 2 is Colleton River, and I need to say something up front. Colleton River is extraordinary. It's 1,500 acres on a private peninsula with 7.5 miles of saltwater marsh frontage, 2 award-winning championship golf courses, a deep water community dock on the Colleton River, an outdoor resort-style pool, Stan Smith designed tennis facility with 5 hard-true courts. Most properties are either waterfront or overlook the golf courses. The median sale price in Colleton River has tracked at approximately $2,150,000 over the last 12 months. The community is member-owned and not open to the public. And that phrase member-owned is the key to everything I'm about to tell you. So why is it number 2? Because Colleton River has one of the most significant mandatory fee structures in the entire market, and it is non-negotiable. When you purchase a property at Colleton River, you're automatically a full member with all rights and privileges. Now that sounds like a benefit, but here's what it means in practice. The one-time non-refundable capital contribution fee in Colleton River is $125,000 for all property purchases. Every single buyer, every single transaction, non-refundable. And that fee does not replace your purchase price. It is paid at closing on top of your purchase price. The current annual dues in Colleton River are $30,466 per year, among the highest in the entire Bluffton market. And then there's the flood picture. Colleton River sits on a tidal peninsula surrounded by rivers and marsh. Homes.com data sourced from Resides notes that the community carries extreme flood and hurricane risk. On a property in this price range, your insurance stack, homeowners, wind and hail, and flood needs to be modeled out carefully before you fall in love with a listing. So who is Colleton River a genuinely outstanding fit for? Buyers for whom golf at this level is a central part of their life, not an amenity they might use occasionally. Buyers who are fully prepared for the $125,000 capital contribution fee at closing as part of their purchase plan. Buyers who want a member-owned private community where the club culture is tightly connected to daily life inside the gates. My take, Colleton River is one of the most beautiful and well-run communities I work with in the entire Lowcountry. But it is also one where I see the largest gap between what buyers expect at first glance and what they discover when we start going through the actual numbers. And that brings us to number 1. This is the area I get asked about the most by out-of-state buyers who are doing their research, and every single time I have the same conversation. Number 1 on the list is Palmetto Bluff. Palmetto Bluff is one of the most extraordinary communities in the entire Southeast. Over 20,000 acres of preserved land along the May River, multiple villages, miles of trails, and the Montage Resort sitting right inside the community. This is not just a neighborhood, it's a private resort-style environment that happens to have residential real estate inside of it. So why is it number one? Because this is where I see the biggest mismatch between what out-of-state buyers think they're buying and how this community actually works. So let's start with what's changed. There's no longer a required upfront initiation fee just to purchase property in Palmetto Bluff. That part has been simplified. But what hasn't been simplified is how the lifestyle is structured. This is a choose-your-own-adventure community, and this is where Palmetto Bluff is fundamentally different from places like Colleton River or Belfair. In those communities, when you buy, you're automatically all in. Golf club dues bundled into the purchase, whether you use them or not. Palmetto Bluff doesn't work that way. Here you get access to core level of amenities just by owning. Dining, pools, fitness, general club access, but beyond that, everything else becomes elective. And that's where the real decisions start. Things like golf, the shooting club, the boating club, or racket-focused memberships are all opt-in experiences, which sounds flexible, and it is, but it also means you need to be very clear about what you actually want out of the community, because the cost structure can look very different depending on how you engage. So let's talk numbers at a real-world level. As of now, base level ownership looks roughly like this. The Preservation Trust, which is the POA dues, about $5,800 per year. Palmetto Bluff Club dues about $10,000 annually with tax, and your baseline cost of ownership before you add anything else elective is roughly $15,000 to $16,000 per year. That's your starting point. It's not your full picture. Now layer in lifestyle choices. If you're coming here for the full golf experience, that's a separate decision entirely. Golf membership in Palmetto Bluff has moved into completely different tier, with initiation fees around $300,000 to join, plus ongoing dues. That's not an upgrade you casually add later. That's strategic decision you want to understand before you buy. There's one other piece that catches people off guard, and this one happens on the way out, not the way in. Palmetto Bluff has a capital contribution when you sell. 0.75% of the sales price on homes and 1% on lots. And that comes out at closing. On higher end properties, that's not a small number. There's also a transfer related fee structure tied to the Preservation Trust dues when you purchase. Then there's the development and resale dynamics. Palmetto Bluff is still actively developing. New homes, new phases, new inventory coming online, which means resale properties are often competing with the developer product at the same time. That can impact pricing, negotiation, and resale timelines. And finally, design control. Palmetto Bluff has one of the most structured architectural review processes in the Lowcountry. Every exterior detail has to be approved. And the result is one of the most beautiful, cohesive communities in the region. But for buyers who want full creative freedom, it can feel restrictive. So who is actually a great fit for Palmetto Bluff? Buyers who want a resort-style, nature-first lifestyle, buyers who value design, privacy, and long-term vision, buyers who like flexibility of choosing their level of involvement, and buyers who are willing to map out the full cost based on how they plan to use the community. So my take is Palmetto Bluff is one of the most exceptional places I work with, but it is also one where I spend the most time helping buyers understand how all the pieces connect. I'm Tim Peirce with the Peirce Group at eXp Realty. I've helped thousands of buyers relocate to the Bluffton and Hilton Head area. The Peirce Group is a top producing team in the Hilton Head and Bluffton area with hundreds of millions of dollars in local real estate sales. And after working through dozens of relocation moves every year, one pattern shows up more consistently than any other. The buyers who get it wrong are almost never the ones who pick the wrong community. They're the ones who worked with an agent who didn't specialize in Lowcountry relocation. If you're considering a move to Bluffton or Hilton Head in the next few months, and you want advice from someone who has been living and working in this market every day for the past 24 years, just call or text me, or book a free call at the link in the description below. Based on where you're coming from, what you need from your community, your budget, and your lifestyle, we can work out exactly which part of the Lowcountry makes the most sense for you. Watch this next video where I break down exactly what the true cost of living looks like inside the Lowcountry's top gated communities. The numbers that buyers only find out after they've already signed.